Hi there. In today's video we're going to look at the Tier 7 tech tree German cruiser, the York. As always, we'll start with a quick view of the equipment setup and the commander skills that we're using going into this battle. Now, before we get the battle underway, let's take a quick look at the matchmaking. Okay, we're top tier in this battle. Each team has 2 submarines, only 1 destroyer, and there's no CV to worry about. Also, there are only 2 battleships, so matchmaking's been kind to us in this instance. Here's a quotation attributed to Publilius Cyrus. Anyone can hold the helm when the sea is calm. You'll also hear this paraphrased as, a calm sea never made a skilled sailor. I'm going to stick with my spawn position and initially head towards those islands at the north end of B Cap. Now this York is not based upon a real ship that served with the German Navy. The Germans did have a Roon class armoured cruiser called York that ironically was sunk by German mines in 1914. There was actually a plan to replace the York, the Ersatz York class, Ersatz meaning replacement. However, that plan was cancelled, so they were never actually built. Now, this York is the first ship in this tech tree line that you could regard as a heavy cruiser. However, I still like to hang around islands and use them as shields, because you're still very vulnerable if you do show broadside, especially to battleships. I'm going to keep myself behind these islands initially while we wait to spot the enemy deployment.
Enemy force sighted on the horizon.
See the enemy starting to make a push into sea, and they've begun to capture that. We don't want to overcommit and lose ships early, but neither do we want to give up the caps too easily. We can see the enemy Omaha now heading towards the B cap, so let's switch to armour piercing and see if we can discourage that. A double citadel to start with, and a gun disabled. That'll do for me. The German AP is good, but not with the Omaha angled in at me. Let's switch back to HE. Managed to grind York, you'll probably notice the longer reload for the guns on the York. I think the Omaha's beginning to regret his life choices now. That's a good exchange from my perspective. 18,000 damage done, and I haven't really suffered any at the moment. Now, generally speaking, plan A in the York, for me, is not to go in and start capping, but I don't see any particular interest at B by the enemy at the moment, so I'm going to start to move a bit closer to the B cap and see how the situation develops. The enemy has lost 2 ships, and we can see the known or last known position for 7 others, so there's 3 enemy ships unaccounted for at the moment. The B cap actually does have a small island in the middle on this map that you can use for shelter. I'm keeping close to these islands at the north of the B cap. If I do see something that's too scary, then at least I can kite away between them. Okay, it's decision time. I do have La Galissoniere coming with me, so I'm actually going to commit to heading towards that island in B-Cap now. The friendly L'Argentina's coming with us as well, and looking at his position, he should be able to deal with any enemy that emerge through the gap in the islands by C-Cap there. Okay, this is not what I wanted to see. An enemy battleship coming in and actually has me spotted now, so let me get down by this island. Now I'm going to have to risk showing broadside so that I can get the blind side of the island from that battleship. Ouch. No citadel though, I got away with that one. Ah, look at that, rudder full over, but turning circle's not good enough to miss the island, so potatoed in there, and here I am, going slowly backwards, almost broadside on. The two other cruisers have disappeared, so hopefully Renown can get out from behind that island and start to distract the Rio de Janeiro. I need an assist now as well, because the engine's knackered and I'm on fire. So thankfully, Renown has arrived, but let's get out of here and get behind that island. I've got the cap, but I've hit that island again. I'm proper derping around here today. What a potato. That Renown absolutely deserves a compliment. He's saved my bacon there. Right then, we have the B cap. Looks like we're just about to take C as well. We have a near 400 point lead. We haven't lost the ship yet, and the enemy's down to 4. And even more remarkable, I've managed to pull away without hitting the island again. It's about time I learned my lesson, and let's start to use islands properly now when we're shooting at the enemy. As far as possible, I need to remain undetected while inflicting further damage on the enemy ships. There it was, AP for the broadside cruiser, HE for the battleship. If we can start fires, that's one of the best ways to pick up damage in the York. So with the scent of blood in the water, I allowed myself to become detected, just trying to get the final shot on the Colonel Bolognese. And there you go, I paid for that. Perhaps I didn't learn the lesson well enough earlier. That's a good example, though, of how vulnerable you can be to battleship fire. Who put that island there? I've potatoed into an island again, but I'm happy to this time, because it's taken away any opportunity for the Ismail to shoot at me again. It's looking bleak for the Ismail at the moment. Now, whatever this video does show you, it is not an example of how to navigate a ship well. Okay, everyone's scrambling to finish off the Ismail now. What have we seen so far then? The York has decent guns, but you're not going to surprise anybody with your high scores in this particular ship. We didn't have the opportunity to use the torpedoes today, although obviously that's one way to begin to inflict a bit more damage. Having said that, you don't want to be looking for the opportunity to use the torpedoes. They're more of a last-ditch defensive weapon. Now, I am showing broadside here because I'm expecting Ismail to have his guns trained on everyone who's shooting at him. But no, obviously I'm the preferred target, and you will be in the York. The other point to note is York's poor manoeuvrability. Let's take a look at the final scores. 60,000 damage then, only 3 fires, we took a cap and 3 defended. That's enough to give us a second place though, even though our particular performance was unremarkable. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video, hope you enjoyed it and hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.